Greatness is not something that is just bestowed to the select few, given from the heavens to a special few by the gods. Greatness is not something that falls from the skies. Greatness is not something that is reserved for just people like Muhammad Ali and Gandhi and Buddha and Bruce Lee and Bob Marley and David Bowie and Martin Luther King and JFK. And greatness is not something that just happens randomly by accident. It's often easy to point at the great ones and say, oh my God, they're so amazing. LeBron, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Oprah, they're so special. To me, when you point to someone and say they're so special and they're lucky, they're blessed, it's a cop-out. This is where we give up our own responsibility for our own greatness, because when we say that person has it and that person's special, then it's almost like we don't have to own it for ourselves. Greatness is each and every one of our birthright. You are great. There is greatness inside of you. There is greatness living and breathing you. There is greatness that birthed you. Yet somehow, as children, we get conditioned. And slowly we begin to forget that we're great. Society tells you, why can't you just be normal? Why do you have to have these big dreams? Why do you have to think that way? Why can't you just be like your sister Susie or your brother Johnny? Why do you have to have these great ideas? Just fit in, just conform. Society, media constantly tries to condition greatness out of you to just conform and fit in. But I believe that when we try to conform and be normal, what is normal anyway, other than a construct and a concept? When we try to fit in and be normal, we suppress ourselves. And it's the suppressing of ourselves that actually drives us crazy. I want you to acknowledge your greatness. Today's message from Bali, Indonesia, is simply a shout out to you to remember who you really are. You are not your story. You are not your past. You are not your thoughts. You are not your limitation. There is an infinite potential within you. Greatness, you see, is a moment-to-moment choice. Yet often in our microwave quick fix culture, where mediocrity has kind of become the norm, the acceptable, the accepted, what we often play and wear to sometimes try and fit in and be loved and be liked. Greatness, to fulfill your greatness, is why you were born. Feel the greatness in you. That same intelligence that is living and breathing the sun and the stars and the moon and the rivers. That same intelligence is what is living inside of you, yet in our microwave quick fix culture, where we have lost touch with being patient, where we want everything all at once. I sometimes see that we are not committed to the game of what it takes to be great. We're not committed to the game of what it takes to be true masters. True mastery requires effort. True mastery requires discipline. True mastery requires a level of sacrifice. True mastery requires that you transcend your mind, transcend your limitations, transcend your past. True mastery requires patience. So often in our culture, we want things to be so easy. We have so much creature comforts in our world today. But I believe if you take the easy path, you will often face difficulties and challenges down the road. Life isn't always easy, my friends. And just because life isn't easy doesn't mean it's bad. Life isn't always easy, but life isn't necessarily meant to be easy. It's not meant to be a struggle. Struggle is the judgment of your experience, laced with emotion and the story you bring to it. But life isn't necessarily meant to be easy. Life is ultimately a process of your growth and evolution. Life doesn't care for your comfort. Life cares for your growth and evolution. And the reason that you have incarnated as a soul in your lifetime, as this version of you, is not to have it easy. If it was about being easy, you would have just stayed in the heavens. Life is a process of growth and evolution. So every experience, every challenge, every difficulty, every pain, every trauma, everything that you've been going through is simply life preparing you to be able to develop the soul muscle. Life preparing you to be able to develop the mental, the spiritual, the emotional muscle so that you can become the person who is able to fulfill your journey, to fulfill your dharma, to fulfill your purpose, to fulfill your destiny. So we look at someone like a Mandela. We often say, oh, Mandela was so great, but he went to prison for 27 years. 27 years. We all want the fruit, but many of us, we don't want to do the work that it takes for 27 years. Should Mandela have not gone to prison? It was the hardship and the challenge of those 27 years where he had to dig deep within himself to develop the mental and the spiritual, the emotional soul force so that he could cultivate the compassion, the forgiveness, the gratitude, and the vision to become Mandela. Every time Gandhi wanted to react, every time Gandhi probably wanted to lash back at his oppressors, but he chose the path of compassion. That was a moment where he sculpted, he chose his greatness. Greatness is a combination of the small moment-to-moment decisions that you take in your life every single day. When no one's watching, when no one's around, when no one pays attention, your public victories happen in the private when you're all alone. So my friends, I'm just here to say there's greatness inside you. But it's not something that's given to you by anyone else. I'm here to simply remind you that there's greatness inside you. But will you listen to the voices of mediocrity, of media, society, culture, friends, and family? Or will you be one of the few that dares to fly, that dares to rise up, that dares to transcend yourself and reach for your greatness? No one's going to give you what you already are. You're already great, but no one's going to hand it to you. Oprah is not going to knock on your door. Bill Gates isn't going to show up and say, hey, here's $1 billion. Every choice you make, every thought you think, every decision, every time you say no for something more, you choose your greatness. Greatness is a moment-to-moment choice. So my friends, if you feel ready to step in to that next level, if you feel ready to step in to that next level, I want to invite you to join me on a life-changing journey that is designed to assist you in unleashing your greatness. It's called Boundless Bliss, the Bali Breakthrough Experience. If you feel ready to step into your power, reclaim your voice, and be who you are meant to be, I want to invite you to join me in Bali where I promise you, miracles will happen. And my intention is to help free you from your past, connect you with who you really are, and catapult you forward into living your true soul's destiny. There's greatness in you. That's the truth. If you feel a calling, apply now. See you soon.